A girl in the snow, the wind screamed across the frozen land. It was not Earth. It was colder, wilder. This was planet Varela 6, a mining world covered in snow and storms. Eli Thorne, a human scout from Earth, walked slowly through the snow. His boots crunched with each step. His breath came out in white clouds. His suit was cracked. His left arm was bleeding under the fabric. But he kept moving. He had only one goal: get back to base before nightfall. The sky above was gray. The sun here never shined. Everything was white and dead. Even his comlink was frozen. His rover had died 2 hours ago. The storm had swallowed it, and something blinked on his scanner. Life sign, weak, 15 meters. Ahead. Eli stopped. No life should be here. He moved forward carefully. Snow piled up to his knees. He used his gloved hand to dig. Then he saw it, a small figure, bare skin, blue, thin arms curled around a freezing body. Black hair stuck to her cheeks. Her lips were cracked. Her eyes closed. It was a girl. Not human. An alien child? No, a teen, maybe. 15, 16 years old. Her clothes were torn. No shoes, no ID, no heat bag. Just snow and silence. She looked dead. Eli touched her neck. A pulse. Very faint. He looked around. The storm howled louder. No time to think. If he stayed, he would die. If he left her, she would die alone. He sighed. Damn it, he whispered. He pulled her into his arms. She was light. Too light. Like a feather made of ice. He wrapped her in his coat. His own warmth started to fade. But he didn't stop. The wind pushed hard. Ice hit his face like glass. The girl's body didn't move. Not even a sound. Her head rested on his shoulder. He couldn't even tell if she was still alive. He spoke softly as he walked. Hang in there, kid. We're gonna make it. There was no answer. Every step felt harder. His legs shook. His back burned. The cold slipped into his bones. Hours passed. Eli stumbled, fell into the snow. His vision blurred. The weight in his arms didn't move. He groaned and stood again. Not yet, he said. Not letting you die. The world was white. Just white. No trees. No rocks. No landmarks. He checked the scanner. His base was still 11 kilometers away. Too far. He needed shelter. Now. Then he saw a shadow in the distance. A dark shape. A cave? Eli moved toward it, step by step. The snow tried to swallow him, but he kept going. The cave was small, half covered in ice. He squeezed in, holding the girl tight. Inside, it was cold, but dry. He set her down, lit a heat cube. The glow filled the space. He looked at her face. So still. He took off her wet clothes gently and wrapped her in thermal fabric. Then he rubbed her arms, her chest, her hands, trying to bring warmth back. Her skin was blue. Too blue. Come on, he whispered. Don't give up. He opened a water pack and put a drop on her lips. Nothing. He leaned close. I've seen someone die in the cold before. My sister. Back on Earth, I couldn't save her. I won't let that happen again. Suddenly, her lips moved. A sound. A whisper. He leaned in. Why? Eli froze. She was alive. Because, he said softly, no one should die alone. Not out here. Her eyes opened just a little. They were silver, strange, beautiful, scared. Then they closed again. She passed out, but Eli smiled. She's alive, he said. That's enough. Outside, the storm roared louder. But inside the cave, a single human and one freezing alien girl sat by the glow of a flickering heat cube. Two souls who were never meant to meet. And yet, maybe, just maybe, fate had other plans. Asterisk through the White hell the storm did not sleep, Dot. It screamed all night, like a wild beast outside the cave. Snow fell in thick waves, burying the entrance until only a crack of light showed. Inside, Eli sat with his back against the wall, holding his blaster tight and watching the girl. She was still breathing. Barely. Her lips moved sometimes, like she was dreaming or lost in a memory. Her skin was still cold, but her hands were. No longer stiff. Eli took that as a win. His own body hurt. His side was bruised from the fall earlier. His legs were sore from carrying her for hours. He hadn't eaten since yesterday, but he didn't care. She's alive, he whispered again. That's all that matters. Then the cave shook. Eli froze, not from wind. No, this was something else. Thump, thump, scratch, a low sound. Heavy steps. Then scraping metal. He crawled to the entrance and peeked out. Nothing but white. He narrowed his eyes. Movement, far off. A tall shape walking slowly across the snow. 4 legs. Long tail, spines down its back. A Zarnik, snowstalker. Eli's blood went cold. That thing wasn't just a predator. It was the top predator on Varela 6. It hunted sound, heat, and pain. And Eli was giving off all 3. He backed away from the entrance. Quietly. He turned to the girl. She was shivering now. That was good. Shivering meant the body was trying to fight, but it also meant she needed better heat fast. He had to move. He opened his survival bag, pulled out one last emergency heat pod. Only enough for a few hours, but it would keep her alive. He placed it against her chest and activated it. The warmth spread through her skin. She sighed softly in her sleep. Then Eli heard it again. Crunch, crunch, scratch. The creature was closer. He held his breath. It walked past the cave, slowly. Its nose sniffed the air. Eli didn't move, not even a blink. Then his suit beeped. Low? Power. Just once. Just loud enough. The beast stopped. It turned. Its glowing green eyes locked onto the cave. Eli grabbed his knife. He looked at the girl, then back at the cave entrance. She's not dying here, he whispered. Not today. He grabbed a flare, lit it. The light burst red. The beast growled. Eli charged out into the snow. The snowstalker roared and followed. 10 minutes later, Eli limped back into the cave, bleeding, shaking, his suit torn. But he was alive. The snowstalker wasn't. He had tricked it into chasing him over a frozen river. When it broke through the ice, it never came back up. Now he sat beside the girl, breathing hard. Still with me? He whispered to her. She didn't answer, but her hand twitched. That was enough. Eli looked out at the storm one last time. He knew this was just day 1. He had 2 more days to walk if he wanted to reach the base. And carrying her? It would be the hardest thing he ever did. But he made a promise, and Eli Thorne never broke a promise. The cold doesn't care morning didn't look different on VRLA-6. There was no sun, just gray clouds and more snow. The storm had slowed, but not stopped. It was quieter, but colder. Inside the cave, Eli Thorne opened his eyes. His face was numb. His hands burned from frostbite. He hadn't slept much. The alien girl was curled under the thermal fabric. Her breathing was slow, but stronger now. He reached out and touched her wrist, still warm, that gave him the strength to move. Eli stood. His legs ached. He checked his bag. Food? 1 ration? Water? Half a pouch? Heat cubes? Empty. They had to leave today or die in here. He leaned over her. Hey, he whispered. Can you hear me? Her eyelids fluttered. Then, slowly, she opened her silver eyes. She looked confused, scared. You're safe, Eli said, raising his hand slowly. I'm Eli. I found you in the snow. I've been carrying you. She stared at him, then tried to sit up, but gasped in pain and collapsed. Careful, he said gently. You're hurt. You lost a lot of heat. Why? She asked, her voice a whisper. Why? Save me. Eli looked down. His face changed. He saw not snow, not cave walls, but a memory. Years ago. Earth. A blackout hit the city. Power was gone. Heat was gone. Eli was 10. His little sister Mira was 6. He held her as the cold crept into the house. She shivered, cried, fell asleep in his arms. She never woke up. He had promised her he'd protect her, but he failed. Back in the cave, VIRLA-6. Eli wiped his eyes. Because I couldn't save someone once, and I'll never fail again. They... Girl blinked. Her lips trembled. My name is Kyla. Eli smiled. Kayla. That's a good name. She closed her eyes again. Not asleep. Just resting. Eli stood and looked outside. The wind had calmed. The path to the cliffs was open. Base was 2 days away if he moved fast. But carrying Kayla. 3 days. Maybe 4. He packed up quickly. Wrapped Kayla tighter in the thermal sheet, then lifted her gently in his arms. Her weight pressed down on his sore muscles. He stepped outside. The cold bit his face, but he didn't stop. Hours passed. Eli walked across frozen hills, through fields of snow as high as his waist. Kayla sometimes mumbled in her sleep, words in a language he didn't know. Sometimes she said one name, Mevra. He didn't ask who it was. He just kept walking. That night he found a dead tree, a rare thing here, hollow inside, big enough for shelter. He laid Kayla down gently, lit a small fire with dry bark. She opened her eyes again. Why are we walking? To get you home. I don't have a home. Eli paused. Then we'll find one, he said softly. She looked at him for a long time, then said something in her language, soft, like a song. Eli didn't understand, but he understood the feeling. It meant, thank you. Outside the hollow tree, the cold watched. Uncaring. But inside, for the first time in days, warmth, not from fire, from something else. 2 strangers. One lost girl, one broken man, and the bond forming between them. Asterisk, the storm has teeth. The next morning came quietly. Too quietly. The wind had stopped. No sound, no movement. Just flat white. Land stretching forever. Eli stepped out of the hollow tree, carrying Kayla in his arms. Her eyes were open now, though still tired. Is it always this cold? She asked softly. This is a warm day, Eli said with a weak smile. She didn't laugh, but her lips curved slightly. They walked slowly. Eli's back hurt. His breath was heavy, but he didn't complain. Every hour, he stopped to give Kayla water. Sometimes she would whisper a story about her planet flowers that glowed, rain that sang. He liked hearing her voice. It made the world feel less empty. But something felt wrong. Eli kept checking behind them. The quiet was not peaceful. It was dangerous. Predators don't roar when they hunt. They watch, wait, move in silence. By the time the sunless sky began to dim, Eli saw movement far behind them. Shadows. Not 1, 3. He stopped. Kayla looked up at him. What is it? Trouble, he said. He scanned the horizon. Then he saw it, a small ship cutting across the sky. Black and low, with sharp red lights. Not rescue. Not military. Pirates. Eli single quotes. S-jaw tightened. He set Kayla down behind a snow ridge and crouched low beside her. She looked at the ship. Her face went pale. They found me, she whispered. Who? The ones who threw me from their ship. I was sick. They thought I'd slow them down. Eli stared at her. You mean they just left you to die? She nodded. Cargo is more important to them than life. His hands clenched into fists. He had heard of slavers. Some alien groups smuggled rare species, sometimes for trade, sometimes for worse. They won't get you again, he said, but Kayla grabbed his wrist. No, you don't understand. If they see you with me, they'll kill you too. I don't care. Why? She cried. Why do you care what happens to me? Eli met her eyes. Because I care what kind of man I am. She stared at him, speechless. Then boom, a red light lit the snow. The pirate ship had landed. Figures stepped out. Armor, guns, flashlights. Sweeping the snow. Scan for heat. One of them growled in a strange tongue. Eli pulled Kayla close. We're out of time. He looked up the ridge. There was only one way now. He had to run, draw them away, make them chase him. Then maybe, just maybe, Kayla could live. But before he could stand, Kayla pulled something from her clothes. A small silver crystal. What's that? Eli asked. She hesitated, then said, This is why they want me. I'm not just some alien girl. She pressed the crystal to her chest. For 1 second, her whole body glowed. Symbols lit across her skin. Eli backed up in shock. What are you? Kayla's voice was quiet. I'm a daughter of Mevra, the last bloodline of a lost empire. I ran away because they wanted to sell me for power. Eli stared at her, stunned. Then he smiled. Well, Kayla, looks like I really picked a bad time to be a good guy. She looked terrified. You should leave me. But Eli shook his head. I carried you through a blizzard. I'm not dropping you now. Then he stood up, turned to face the approaching pirates, and whispered, Let the storm come, we'll give it teeth. Run with me. Snow exploded as red lights swept over the ridge. Eli grabbed Kayla's hand. Run. But no time. He pulled her to her feet. She limped beside him, teeth clenched, the silver crystal clutched in her palm. Behind them, shouting, blaster fire hit the ground, throwing up ice and steam. The pirates had found them. Eli didn't stop. He ran into the storm's edge, dragging Kayla behind. The cold cut into them like knives, but cold was better than capture. He knew what slavers did, and he'd die before letting them touch her. They crossed an ice bridge, narrow stretch over a deep frozen canyon. Kayla looked. Down, Dizzy. It's cracking. Eli looked back. Pirates on the ridge. 2 of them sprinting. Too close. He pulled Kayla across. Then, halfway, he stopped. Go. What? I'll break the bridge behind us. You'll fall. Just go, Kayla. She hesitated, but obeyed. Eli slammed his heel into the brittle ice. Once, twice. Crack. The surface split. A pirate fired a shot, skinned Eli's leg. But he didn't fall. One last stomp. The bridge snapped beneath the pirate's feet. He screamed as he plunged into the ravine. The other pirate stopped cold. Eli limped after Kayla. She was waiting behind a snow dune, eyes wide with fear. You're bleeding, she whispered. I've bled before, he said. She ripped part of her sleeve and tied it around his leg. Then she took out the crystal. It's time I stop hiding. She pressed it to her chest again. Her skin glowed. Symbols spread across her arms. Her eyes lit bright silver. Eli stepped back. What is that thing? It's called a memory stone. It holds power, but it's dangerous. Use it. She hesitated. If I unlock it too far, I could burn out. Or lose myself. Eli touched her shoulder. Then don't do it for you. Do it for us. Kayla nodded. She lifted the stone, and the air changed. A shockwave of light burst from her chest. Echoing across the ice. The pirate ship shook. Its engines froze. The lights flickered. The remaining slavers shouted in panic. Kaela fell to her knees. Gasping. Eli caught her. You okay? I bought us time. But not much, he said. They looked ahead. The mountain was close. Behind. It his outpost. A day's walk. Too far for most, but not for them. He picked her up again. She was lighter now. Or maybe he was stronger. She looked up at him, eyes dim but alive. I'm not a warrior, she whispered. You don't have to be, he said. Just hold on. Then they moved forward, two figures lost in the snow, running not from death, but toward hope. Warmth beyond the ice. Eli's legs burned. His hands were numb. Every breath stabbed like ice in his chest. But still he walked. Kayla was barely conscious in his arms. Her head rested against his shoulder. Her silver eyes opened once in a while, then closed again. Just a little more, he whispered. They had made it past the mountain ridge, and there in the distance, through the swirling snow, a blinking red light, a beacon, his outpost. He staggered, forward, step by step. Behind him, the storm howled one last time, like a creature that had failed to catch its prey. The outpost gate opened with a heavy grind. Human biosignal detected, said the automated voice. Eli collapsed onto the floor, but he didn't let go of Kayla. Medical, emergency. He muttered. Then darkness took him. When Eli opened his eyes, everything was soft. He was on a bed. Warm air. White light. Beeping sounds. He sat up with a groan. His arm was bandaged. His leg wrapped. He was alive. Then he remembered Kayla. The door slid open. She stood there, wearing a clean outfit. Her skin no longer blue with cold. Her eyes bright. Again, she smiled gently. You survived, she whispered. You too. She stepped closer. They told me you carried me for 3 days. You should be dead. I'm stubborn. I noticed. They both laughed. Quiet. Real. Later, Kayla sat beside him in the med bay window. Snow still fell outside, but the storm had passed. I sent a message, she said, to the few people I trust. They're coming. To take you home? She looked at him. I don't know what home is anymore, she said. But maybe it's something you build, not something you find. He nodded. Yeah, maybe. It is. She reached into her pocket, pulled out the crystal. I want you to have this. He raised an eyebrow. Won't you need it? She placed it in his hand. It pulsed, faintly warm. It showed me pain and fear, but you showed me something stronger. What's that? Kindness. Eli looked down. I didn't do anything special. You did something no one else ever did, she said. You stayed. A week later, a ship arrived. Sleek, silver, not pirate-made, not slaver-owned. A peaceful flag painted on the side. Kayla turned to Eli before boarding. I want to return someday, she said, not as a runaway, but as someone who can help others. Like you helped me. He smiled. I'll be here. She stepped close, reached for his hand. Held it, then leaned in just for a moment and pressed her forehead to his. In her culture, that meant thank you, soul to soul. Then she left. Eli stood at the gate, watching the ship rise into the sky. The cold brushed his face, but he didn't feel it anymore, because somewhere out there, in a galaxy full of war and ice, a girl once left to die had found warmth. And a tired human had found something too. Asterisk.